Power and Profit, everybody. It is Mo. All right, so I haven't been here in a while because I have been busy, busy, busy. But I say, you know what? Let me go live today because I have some information I need to get out and I need to practice. So how you guys doing out there, YouTube land? Let me get my stuff together. And we are going to practice some programmatic information. All right. Let me share this link out here. Take my time. So let me put my link in the chat because I forgot. I want to talk about programmatic budgets, which are super important to have. Let me get up PowerPoint real quick so I can have that ready and on standby. Haven't been here in a while, but I figured I'd come talk about something that actually helps some people out, as well as do a refresher for myself. So remember we talked about, hold on, let me share my screen. Remember I did a series of um examples, grant examples. If you have an idea of a type of program budget that you would like me to uh that you would like me to work on, just let me know. Let me share my screen real quick. Share my screen. Let's see. I'm gonna share over here. All right. So I've done a few grants in the past where I've practiced. So let me see where I want to start. Yeah. So I've done a few grants in the past where I've practiced on how to write. And so I'm gonna use one as an example and then I'll work on it that way. This ain't nobody but Andre, of course. Oh God.
Wrong again.
Ah,
I said you're wrong again.
Brandon? No way.
No, this is Money Mike. How you doing, Mo?
It's Brandon, ain't it? I know it.
No, it ain't.
Is that Brandon?
It's Money Mike.
Lord Money Mike.
Brandon.
You so five.
What's up, Mo?
I was like, hold on. Ain't nothing. I figured I'd get on here and do some practice, and I've been super busy learning
Brother, where you been?
in training,
Trying to for
lear-
what?
learning different areas of grant writing.
It's starting to
So,
pay off.
oh yeah, I'm about to show you my little
Yeah.
skills. Huh?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you notice somebody come in the back chat or something, let me know because I might not be able to see them,
Okay.
see their screen. So these are grants that we had practiced with in the past. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work on the budget um information, budget categories of a grant. Um Zion Lamb, the budget
Oh, we lose you. Think you muted. Hey Mo, if you're talking, you muted. Can't hear you.
Brandon, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, all right. All right, so let's get it started in this piece. I want to talk about the budgets because many people, they have AI, so they're giving a really good understanding on how to get the information or content they need for an actual grant. Some people are getting tripped up on the budget, understanding the budget. So even though you're getting this information quicker in the correct order, you still need to understand. You need to understand it and how to facilitate it. So it's one thing to have the content, and it's another to facilitate it. And so we definitely want to make sure we're understanding that. So this is why I wanted to focus on budgets this evening. So I'm gonna bring up a blank PowerPoint. I mean a blank Excel document and make it a little larger so you all can see. And I'm gonna call it program budgets. All right. Now the first category is personnel, right? Let me see if I can kind of move it. I'm gonna have it try to put them side by side. PowerPoint and in the Excel document so we can actually see. We may be able to see. I'm not necessarily sure, but let's see what happens. Okay, yeah, we can. Can you see that, Brandon?
Yeah, I can see it side by side.
Yeah, because we don't necessarily need the activity right now. I really just want the personnel piece of it.
Right quick, I was gonna say, can you explain why it's important to budget and creating a budget for your business?
Oh, yes.
And
So
then what from the budget can you expect? And how can you use that budget to progress or actually grow your business?
thank you, Brandon. I really love that question. Budgets are important so that you can be disciplined in your spending, your saving, and your investing for the future of your business. And so, if you want to grow your net worth in your business, you would break out your spending. So, there's a couple things that it would consider. It gives you the opportunity to look over your historical trend of your business as it relates to finances, whether it's week over week, month over month, quarter over quarter, year over year. That's one. Two, it get what? Yes, it is in the black bag in the trunk. Um, two, so you got the year over year historical trends, so give you an understanding of your financial picture, whether it's the revenue or the expenses. Excuse me. Two, then you also have the opportunity to know when are your high seasons and your low seasons as it relates to either earned sales or expenditures going out. So you know how to make proper adjustments. Three, you have the opportunity to um, budget it or expend out your line items of expenses as well as create a line item for investing so that you can put funding away for either contingency planning, emergency planning, or investing to build capacity, financial capacity in your business. Three, it gives you budgeting is also important that you understand how you're growing so that you can properly price your products and services that you're providing. So those are a few um, explanations that's practical to me. Budgeting also keeps you disciplined and gives you an idea of how to properly, in my opinion, properly run a business because what happens sometimes if you make $100,000 in your business, you want to just spend 100,000. When in actuality, you have to consider that it takes expenses to actually run that business that you need to sustain over time to be successful. When you have a budget and you're disciplined enough to spend within those means, and you do it in a reasonable and justifiable way, meaning maybe you create your budget every calendar year or maybe a quarter prior to the calendar year starting, or a quarter prior to the state fiscal year or the federal fiscal year, whichever you choose to be your because for nonprofits, they usually a lot of them usually operate on a fiscal calendar. Some nonprofits will not operate on the fiscal calendar, meaning when they became 501, when they became a recognized 501(c)(3) with the federal government. So that could be, you know, at any time during the year. Some will elect to do it on a calendar year, but most for-profit businesses are on a calendar year. So budgets um gives you a chance to I love the fact that it gives you a chance to stay disciplined in your spending, get your historical data, create healthy growth, and invest.
Ooh. All right, I got one more question, and I'll let you get on with your lecture. Far as let's say fail safes or like contingencies or like the unexpected, what percentage of the budget do you think would be good to allocate?
One more time.
So for like odd events, unexpected, you know,
Or
events or
unforeseen expenses.
yes, but like at a let's say hypothetically you got a business and all of a sudden you're getting sued. What percentage of that, not being sued, but like what percentage of your actual budget do you put aside for, certain events like that? Or just like, unexpected, mishaps or whatever.
I say at least one. At least starting out. If you're starting out and your capital is low, I would say 3%. 1% maybe for the emergency plan,
Mm.
3% for investing. But I don't think there's a I don't think there's a right or wrong for the answer. I think depending on the type of growth you have or the type of profit margin you have would drive that percentage over time. So I know that based on the way the feds look at things, it's usually almost to a 2% level in many cases. Those rules haven't changed for the contractor. I know, recently what they're doing, 4%, 5%, that type of thing, but that's not really the standard. So like I know when I put in for the GSA schedule, you have to have a 2% discount to the federal government, and you couldn't if you wanted to do any type of economic adjustments, you couldn't go over 5%. And so anywhere between 2 to 5% was always an adjustable number. So I kind of use that logic back in a personal business and say um I mark up year to year 3%, 3 to 5%, no more than three. Usually for us, no more than 3 to 5%, and then so a markup. Let me back up. So a markup they would say would be common would be 20%, right? If you capture 15% would be for taxes, and the other 5% would be for the business, and then out of that 5%, um 3% I would put away for investment, and 2% I would put it away for emergency expending.
Okay. Okay. Thank
And I
you.
would pull the interest out every mature. Like I would put that 3% in a like a money market or something initially until you're able to get um some more long term type investments where you can pull out the interest every six every every time it matures, or like if you do so, like one of our organizations, we have a CD and a morning market. We pull the interest out of the CD every year in November, and we just put it into the money market, and that's how the money market has grown over time. So that has been a good, very good scenario. So one keeps 100,000 consecutive, and then the other account has grown to, and I think it's almost up to 80 some thousand.
Nice.
So, so
Okay.
at that point, you become your own lender, and you still don't pay taxes on it because you're just moving it from one asset to another.
Nice. Now, is that through like a traditional account
Yeah, that's a
or
regular bank.
oh regular bank? Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is it
Money
the same
market
bank though,
accounts.
right?
Same bank. Uh huh.
Okay.
Yep. Um. So yeah. So I think you asked another question. So that was how the growth, and then you said, let me see. I think did I answer them all in one?
Yeah, you did. I asked what percentage that you would put away for like unexpected, events. So I was thinking about a lawsuit, and you said I think no more than 2% or 3% is what you do every year. But you said 2% is
Okay,
something that you put away for a rainy day, almost.
I got you. Yeah. So yeah. Um. And one thing that happens a lot, when people, as it relates to grants, they will write the grant, and they will create the budget, and they say, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. Or if I have to move something around, let's just hurry up and get the budget done. And if I have to move something around, we'll just do it. That is a pet peeve of mine. I absolutely hate if I have to change a line item, because I feel like that's your planning time. When you decide you want to implement an initiative, you're entering into that project with the understanding of the cost. Now, you may you, look at my son. This is not working. Change the block then. Here it is. You may enter into an agreement where um your cost, I mean, you created a budget, which we'll do, and you say, you know what, I actually spent, let's say I spent more in supplies, and I spent less in travel, and I have an additional 5,000, and I want to move. Okay, you in some cases you may be able to do that depending on the funder. In many cases, you may not be able to do that. So it's important that when you plan, do your plans to plan as close as possible. And I know sometimes people say, "Oh, Mo, that's too much. You don't have to do that way." And I always say, "Well, maybe you shouldn't be doing initiatives, because how would you like if your funder didn't understand or know what they were doing this for as expenditures, and they couldn't make your payroll this week because they didn't put enough money in there to pay you based on the job they say that they needed you to do. You wouldn't like that very much, now would you? So it's the same thing. You have to have the same rigor, understanding, and attitude towards Zion. It's not charging. So hold on. So when it comes down to it, and we're talking about programs and initiatives, you have to understand what does it take to actually facilitate a project. So a lot of times people, they'll just say, you know what, I want to help kids, right? And this is how we get weaned out. So let's bring up our high speed AI real quick, because we're talking about personnel, right? So at this point, we need 5 barber instructors, 2 guest speakers, and 5 mentors. So let's go to our AI tool, and we'll do a little research. Um, and if I ask this question, if it's not a really good phased prompt, then let me know, Brandon. You probably can't help me out. So I'm gonna ask, what is the regulation regulation of what is the Department of, I guess it wouldn't be education no more, but we're gonna say education right now. Education regulation on um instructor to youth. Let's see what it does. All right, so basically I'm looking up to see, okay, what is the ratio? Okay, so and so it is breaking it out. Teacher to student to teacher ratio, right? It's important for you to know that. So if you're gonna work with kids, and I know we do it all the time, and we just be having about 25 kids and one person, right? Not ideal. Okay, depending on the age group. And even though it's like 20 to 1, special needs 15 to 1, um, 1 to 10, gifted and talented, I would still have more than one person. I wouldn't do 20 students to one child, because we know right now the reason we're having a lot of issues in the classroom is because there's too many kids for one person, right? I wouldn't say that that was ideal. Go ahead, Brandon.
No, I was gonna say, if you can copy that what you just typed out
Hmm.
at the top,
Hmm.
and then who'd you ask this question to?
I'm asking. I want to ask it to. Well, I want to build a program that's ideal for staffing. So if I want to do a summer camp,
Hmm.
I want to be able to have enough staff to handle these kids. So even though the regulation says it's only 1 to 20, I'm like, whoo, that might not work. So water activities, it says 2 to 25. It just doesn't seem ideal. But when you're thinking about putting in for grants, this is the information they're going after. I mean, this is the information they're gonna bounce your idea on. Like, okay, how many people they say what they doing a camp? 25. They got 25 kids. And how many adults they have? One. Is it practical? Well, according to state regulation, it is. But if you have two or three, that wouldn't be bad as well. You just have to um I wouldn't put 25 kids with one adult.
So I was gonna show you a little prompt trick. So if this was a
Oh,
question stated to a person,
mhm.
would that be like a superintendent of a school, or who would that be
Um,
referenced to,
okay,
or
let's
like
say to a school.
okay, so the way some of this prompt stuff works is give ChatGPT a title
Uh-huh.
and then ask it the question. So as a you could say as a superintendent at a prestigious school, then
Okay.
ask your question.
I want to say as a STEM camp instructor.
There you go.
Okay. Okay.
And then ask the question, see what it does. It should give you more in depth
Um,
an in depth answer.
how many staff members I need to run a 50 participant camp. Let's see what that happens. Okay. Yeah, one staff. Okay, 23. So two staff members. Since you can't have a fraction of staff, you'll need three staff members at a minimum. I like that better. So three staff members. So when you're building your budget, is see best practice, 4 members is recommended, 1 to 15 for ages 6 to 12. So you want to do your research, like, okay, what are they really talking about? How many personnel do I really need to be able to do this? Right? And then you have to ask yourself, is that practical? Is 4 good? Is 4 not good, right? So then I can come back and say, build, oh, um, Oh, let me go back. So hold on. Go back to my budget sheet. So now when I go back, now that I know I'm gonna use 4 staff members, I would say number of personnel, and underneath I would say 4, right? And then hold on. Mm, 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 mm. And then I would come over here. Then I would come over here and say, oh, personnel wrong. Then I would say hours. You have to determine how many hours you want to work, and then you want to get the rate, and then you want to get the amount, right? So if I got 4 staff members, now let's say you want to break these staff members down. Let's say you can have title. Let's give them a name. So let's say you say program director. Uh-uh. Program director. Let's say you have one. You have a team lead. You have instructor. Or let's say you have 2 instructors. Bam. Because you always have to have an overseer. You always have to have somebody who's gonna do that paperwork. And you have to have somebody who's actually hands on with the kids, right? So if it's an 8-hour day camp, right? Maybe I'll give them 8 hours. Or if you're gonna go the whole duration, let's say the camp was for a week, so you can say 40 hours. 40-hour week camp. Now the rates. You can go back to your chat and you can say your prompt. Uh, let's see. I am uh, a STEM camp program director. Getting good, Brandon.
I see you
How
cooking.
much would I make in Columbia SC for 1 week? All right. So let's get our rate. Now, I can really just go to ChatGPT and get the whole budget, but I want to break it. I want you to actually understand it so you would know what you're doing. I don't want people just be running around just using AI for everything and then they have no clue what any of it mean. So I want you to at least have some kind of understanding of what's going on. So, all right, let's go back. All right. So boom, here it is. So of course, we're gonna take $17 an hour. Bam. All right. So we're gonna give our director 17. We're gonna go back. So we're gonna say, what about the team lead and the instructors? Team lead and instructors. And you want to understand who's doing what the budget is about, because let's say you write it in AI and you present it and you get awarded. That's not the time for you to figure out what you submitted, right? So here we go. So our instructors, we're gonna put them at the 13, and then our camp lead, we're gonna put them at the 1543. Or we just say 15. So we're gonna put them at the lead, we're gonna put it at 15, and then the camp instructor, we're gonna put them at 13. And so we're gonna say equals this. We're gonna have the number of personnel times the number of hours times the rate, and bam, there it is. So that's the budget. So our personnel, well, we got a couple more. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we said 5. So we got 5. So we got 3 instructors. All right. And then, and this is weekly. This is actually weekly. So I'm gonna do that. All right. So boom. That's how we're gonna do this, like this. All right. So that's the first part of our budget. Now we have 2 guest speakers. So the guest speakers, we can put them under contractual services. So for our personnel, we can actually make these all contractual, but we're gonna leave it like this. So our personnel, we're gonna say we got a program director, team lead, and an instructor. And then we need 2 guest speakers. So guest speaker, we're gonna have 2. So let's go get a rate. So our rate would be, what's up, Sonny? Peace, power, and profit to everybody out there in the YouTube world. So we know we're gonna pay our speakers an honorarium. So we're gonna say we're gonna give them $300 flat fee, and that's just a rate. So idea. So we got 2. We're gonna do it one time. We're gonna give them a flat rate. All right. So that's our budget for that. And then we have, okay. So they did program coordinator. We did team lead. So we're gonna change that to program coordinator. And then we're going to have and mentors. So we're gonna call them instead of instructors. So we got instructors and mentors. So let's move this down, and we're gonna say mentors. Now let's say we're gonna put them at 13 too. So maybe we put our instructors at 14 and our mentors at 13. Because it's in between. All right, boom. So now we have all our staff members. We have all our staff, our personnel for this particular grant. So total number of personnel, we would want to know that number. Oh, hold on. Let me sum that up. We definitely would want to know guest speaker. We're only gonna have them come out one time, and then we need to know what's the total dollar amount for the personnel. This is a number, and this is a total. All right, now here's the other thing. Once you've narrowed this down, then you want to come up with um personnel summary, or actually, they call it a narrative. Let me use the right words. Narrative, right? So that means I have to take each one of these, put it here, and then I would go here and I would say, um, create a budget budget narrative for the following. Now we gonna cheat, cause I don't want to put y'all to sleep. We gonna cheat a little bit, okay? So, and we're just gonna copy this, right? Copy the budget narrative. We'll go back to our Excel spreadsheet. Bam, there it is. We're gonna narrow it down a little bit. Let's put this all in time New Much Romans. All right. So let's grade it out. Let's wrap it up a little bit. So this is the narrative. So every time you do a budget, you have to do a narrative. Okay?
So why is that?
That's the federal requirement. They want you to be able to explain and share what's the duty description for these, for every, not just duty description. They want you to describe every dollar that you're going to spend. And so since we are in the personnel section, you have to you have to describe each individual that's going to work on a project, what they're going to be doing. So it's an inspectable item. So we're going to do the same thing for all the other categories as well. So, and it's honestly it's really good because it keeps you, it makes it easy for you when you do your when you're, but you know, when you're looking at your budget and you're spending and you're going along, you actually know what exactly that you're doing. And so we're gonna change these up because remember our amounts were different. Coordinators 600. So you gotta make sure everything agrees. Instructors. Let's see. So 560. Let's do 560 per per person per week. And the instructors. Oh, wait, which one did I just do? Oh, the coordinator is 600. Wait a minute, I did that wrong. So the coordinator is 600. And then the instructors is 560. And you gotta make sure you go over your math to make sure you get it right. All of this matters, and this is how they wean people out because people don't do this when they submit a grant. A lot of times they get caught up and they don't do their part. And then the mentor, 520, mentor, 520. And I got five, I think. I got five mentors, 26. So when you break it out like this, they understand you know what you're talking about. You have an idea what's going on and why. And a lot of times people don't have a clue because they let someone else write it and they never read through the plan. All right. So, hey, Brandon.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. You're right.
Okay. So, you tracking so far?
I am.
All right. So, this is now in on normal circumstances. This budget narrative I would actually put on a page by itself, and we'd have a whole summary of all the budget. But I'm gonna do it like this, and then I want to put it together. So that's personnel.
Now, is it necessary for a budget to be, 2 or 3 pages, or just one page is fine?
One page for for the budget summary, and then the narrative would be probably more than one page because as you can see, we already at a page.
Okay.
Yep, because you're gonna tell the narrative. So the summary, which we don't have yet, I'll outline it all out first, and then we'll put it all together. And so the summary would not have none of this. The summary actually wouldn't have this. It would be it would be it would be personnel, fringe, benefit, fringe benefit, contractual, contractual services. Oh, can't spell. Services, travel, supplies, in indirect costs or other. Yep. And so this would be so then now um when you're looking for, let's see, personnel, fringe benefits, contractual services. Oh, I forgot. I know what it was. It's equipment. Missing equipment. Equipment, travel, supplies, and indirect costs. This will be a summary. And then each one of these would have, so I'd put that 6160 here, right? Because now they want the total of everything, and then they want you to break it out. What does that mean? I need to see, okay, how much you want again? And then okay, now let give me a narrative. And this would be a narrative. You would start it with personnel and you would break it out just like this. And then you would work your way down. And you have to have an explanation for each line item, right? So since we already know we got AI, let's just do it. I am a program director for a STEM camp, and I need a federal um, grant budget for 50 students um, with, oh, wait, let's see, uh, 50 students for a $100,000 grant request from um Department of Commerce. Um, this request requires oh, requires a 1-to-1 match. Watch this. Bam. So I've given you an idea of how to do it from scratch. So now I'm gonna, we already know, everybody already knows AI, how to use AI. So now you have the opportunity to see it in real time. So check it out. So let's say fillable spreadsheet. So let's get the spreadsheet. So you can do it really easy if you know what you're looking for. So the reason now I did that part, and once it spits it out, I'm gonna say I also need the I'm gonna change the budget. Let me see what this look like, because I don't want the 1-to-1. That's a 1-to-1 match. I'm gonna change it, and I also want to see like a 25% match. So I figured it was gonna give it to me like this. I don't like when it gives it to me like this. I mean, this is an easy one, but I don't like it like that. So I'm going to ask it for the word. Um,
Oh, you know you can come up with an Excel file with all this pretty much typed out. Only thing you have to
um,
do is give it variables. So, like you said, yeah,
yeah,
like that.
yeah. I don't want it like this though.
Okay,
So I'm gonna change it up.
okay. What up, Chris?
What's good?
What's happening, man?
Chilling, my boy. You good?
Ah, man, I'm greasy, man. I'm up here chilling.
And Mo, man, I don't even want to talk to Mo. I'm mad at Mo, man.
Oh,
Mm,
I'll know what you do.
mm.
Mo
I'm
been
busy trying to learn grants, and I've been leaving.
Mo been a Capricorn like she always be.
She said, stubborn.
She don't miss her little brother. She don't holler at her little brother no more. It's all good.
Hey, I gotta hit you up. Father's Day coming up. I gotta get some sneakers.
Father's Day. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that in
I,
June?
I'm somebody father, but
Boy, you got a kid?
hell no. Shit. At one point I wanted kids. I don't want kids no more. Mm. I'm gonna have to go to Asia or Italy.
Oh my God. Somebody done put somebody done put
I'm gonna become a Taliban. I'm gonna go to
Stupid.
I'm gonna go to Saudi Arabia and get me one of them women that's
somebody
under the veil that
somebody done
hiding all that
corrected
ass over there, boy. They just hiding it. I'm gonna get me an Arabic man. At least I
somebody
can. At least they under the laws. There's too many free spirits over here. I don't like all that.
No.
Lord help
I
them.
see what free spirit women do. They ain't got no control. They talking about chakras and I am the creator of my destiny. I'm like, bitch, you ain't creating nothing. The hell you creating?
You ain't come on here mess up my nice little
Oh, I'm
budget
sorry. I'm sorry. I was
live
just
stream with them shenanigans.
my bad, my bad, my bad. I didn't mean to do that.
It's shenanigans.
No, Mo, listen, no, seriously though. I just be minding my business. I mind my business. I post my financial literacy stuff. I post my sneaker content. I don't bother nobody, but somebody bother me. Women bother me. Sending me dumbass videos about this gender war bullshit. I'm just like, okay, what you want me to say about this, bro? Like, why are you trying to convince me? And it'd be older women. These women 50, 50. I'm just like, I don't want to date you no more, man, because it's just, and I like her too, the Puerto Rican chick, man. I like her, but she just, once you get a certain age, it's just like, ain't no changing. You are who you are. I'm not finna be in the convincing business. I'm not even trying to argue about relationships. I'd rather talk about stuff I'm good at, finance, stuff like that. Like, hell, we can even talk about trivial stuff. Talk about Diddy and Cassie or something like that. You know what I mean? But somehow the conversation always come back to the same thing. These men out here ain't nothing. They broke, they dusty, all this stuff, and I'm just like, ma'am, I just gave you the report that more black women is unemployed. Like, why are we discussing this? Like, why are you dating broke, dusty men then? That will be my question. Like, why you ain't on here on my sister show, getting educated on something that benefits you instead of talking about, broke, dusty men, come get you a bag over here. Learn about grants, you know what I'm saying? Learn about, trading and, investing, stuff like that. Like, why does your content have to always be? Why do you consume so much content about, gender war relationships instead of, something that can be beneficial for you or educational, like this stuff right here? It's just like some women just don't want to be into what their man is into, and I'm not saying you have to be, but on some level, you should show some interest in what your man is a part of. And instead of trying to get me out of character with a bunch of mental illness conversations that just not it's no benefit. I just it's like circular arguments, you know what I mean? And that's it, Mo. I ain't really trying to ruin the show like that. I just want more people, if they want to talk to me, you want to be into me, come over here, sit down with my sister Mo, come learn about grants. See what she doing, learn the shit she learning. That way you can be an asset not only to yourself but to your man. That's if you want a man. Even if you don't want a man, be an asset for yourself then.
You
And that's
better
it.
be.
And that's it.
You better be, because if you don't, you're gonna get left behind.
Exactly. And that's the whole point right there. You're gonna get left behind because we still in an economic super cycle. And people think this stuff a game, man. This shit is not no game. They they people, they complain about Trump and all of that, and I'm just like, man, y'all worried about the wrong things, bro. Like, worry about what you can control, not what you can't. You can control learning about grants, how to write them, how to come up with them, how you can be of service. You can help start your own business, writing grants for people, make you a bag. But no, we got to, deal with foolishness. I wish I just would have got married younger, man, or found my girlfriend early or something. I don't know. At this point, send me a snow bunny.
Don't you
Don't do
do
it.
it.
Don't
I
you
Don't
was
you
ever
playing.
do it.
Let's
do
get
it.
back to it.
Don't you
And
do it. I went there. They crazy.
No, they is, bro.
They a
They
different
is.
type of crazy. They crazy in silence.
Yeah, you right. You right about that, man.
but they're
I just
not crazy in silence. That's the thing. They really
No.
get open.
I ain't gonna never stop loving
They
my
cater
sisters,
to
man.
you,
But
but then they have you go. What's your email again?
What, Seabreeze?
Okay, yours is Sea Breeze.
Yeah.
And Brandon, what's yours?
Uh, JIMERSON.
I'm giving y'all this, but y'all don't be giving my little methodology to nobody.
No, man, they got to earn that shit, Mo.
They
That's
got to
the
be
Look,
on.
problem. If they ain't signing up to my econ, they better sign up to some damn investment links and come to some classes.
say
It's
it
just that
again.
simple. Yep, that's simple. I don't want
So
a woman that ain't into the stuff that they ain't willing to learn the shit that my circle is into. That's just it.
well, that's hard. It's a hard deal right there.
Yeah, I might just be paying for services then.
No, no, I mean it
Uh,
eventually lines up. I ain't gonna tell you no fear.
Yeah,
Eventually it lines up exactly the way you want it. You just have you just can't settle. That's all I can say. Get you
yeah,
and in the meantime, just have your stuff tight.
right.
So you to compliment you automatically so they can come in there because they'll line themselves up. You got the
Hmm.
ones that's gonna try you, but hey, that's to you to decide.
Right.
But they gonna have to line. You gotta line up. It's easy. If you got a female that's bucking against a male, she just don't want to, because normally if the guy got it together and he's on the track, then she'll line up to that if that's what she want.
Right.
So Brandon, since the last time we spoke, so I just sent you all an email on a paragraph that I normally use. So where it has the 3D printer thing, you can always change that to whatever program you want, but leave the other word in the same, and it'll give you exactly a good grant proposal because those are the things that I've learned and picked up in the classes, and then you can always build on it. So like I put in the STEM, you know, gave the organization uh how much you're looking for. That would be contingent on the grant that you're putting in for or the investor opportunity that you're putting in for. Grade and ages, that's the contingent on who you are. I would take out underserved because you don't, that's unnecessary now. You just need to say students. Ain't no need to get bent out of shape because ain't nobody coming to your class that's not black anyway.
right.
You might get a lot. You may get a Latino person, but I wouldn't fret over it because 9 out of 10 they stick to their own. um, you know. Then you have statement of needs. You remember Brandon, you talked me about the real time data.
Yep.
So I have that as a caption in there. Take it out of here, right? And so it'll automatically pull me the statistics I need and where I got them from based on the area, right? So that knocked that out the park. Now, what I'm missing is my objective. So you'll see how I'm gonna slide it in my goal. But I do have my logic model. Remember on my PowerPoint here, the educational PowerPoint logic model we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Make
Yeah.
sure that's always in your category. So it automatically picks up my logic model for me. They're looking for this. What are your personnel? What are your activities? What are your outputs? What are your outcomes? In this case, it has two: a short term and a long term of goals. You can take some out, you can keep some in. Now your budget is gonna be centered around this, right? Let's keep
And this is
going.
what you have to expand on, right?
Yeah, and I'm gonna hit enter right here because I want to be able to see this whole thing. I think that's Chris causing us static.
It
And
is.
I
Oh, my
yeah.
bad. 1 second.
So what I normally do right here is I'll put it in um I'll put the borders around it so it can make it easier to read. All right. So and then you would look through these and you decide what you want to keep and what you want to get rid of because you don't necessarily have to keep it all. You do have to keep this evaluation section. But if you don't want all of this, you can scale this down however you like. Copy and paste it back in and scale it down. And then here's the budget that we were speaking about. Now, it didn't break out my budget, but I'll do it right now. So let's do this. Um, and then I'll break this out too and actually get the surveys and everything. So that's some of it. So let's go back. So what I'll do is I say, ooh, I like that. I like what it just gave me. I like this whole setup. Oh, here it is right here. Why didn't give it to me on the sheet? So that's another thing I noticed. If you copy and paste from your AI, it might leave something out on a Word document. So look, it actually had my budget the way I needed it. There goes my budget summary. So I can just copy it in there. It's no big deal. Go back to my Word document. So I'll put it right here. And I'll do the same thing here. I'll actually put it on the same page. I got all this space. What's going on? Oh, I see it. It says a header. Okay, let's do it like this. Go ahead and put that in the border because I hate when you can't see it. It just reads better for me. So boom, that's my summary. And then I go back. It's a narrative and get all that narrative right. So now, knowing what I know, I would go back here and then I would check it out. Okay, is this what I would want to do? And I would say, okay, and now watch this. I want to make it applicable to a grant. Objective and goals. I do it like this. I'll say, add an objective and goals as it relates to the Department of Energy grant. Now, it's going to give me my objectives and my goals, and then I'm going to copy and paste it in. So, the main deal for this is that, and then I would take each section, and then I would, so let me see if it, so it aligned it with the Department of Energy grant. So boom, here it is. All right. And then I would copy this information and put it in my other document that I already have. So if I was submitting this to Department of Education, when I pull the application, I practically have everything I need to answer the questions. And I would actually hit on some of their goals and objectives. Make sense?
Yeah. Well, what was the question that you asked ChatGPT? What was that?
I sent it. I sent it to your email.
Okay.
I put in
I just got it.
I put in, so I know I need to have in my write up, I need to have the logic model spelled out. I need real time data to support a need statement for my area. Now watch. I can say I'll come back because I'll piece this stuff apart just to try to get different content. I'll say real time data that supports a needs state of the statement of needs for zip codes 29223 and 29224. I'll just throw a zip code out. Right? So let's see. And then I'll switch out. So if I created this camp and I wanted to see the zip code, how it relates to the zip codes where I'm at, I would do it like this. And then I would take these zip codes, this information, and I would copy it and paste it in. So this is how I would narrow it out. So once you do it one time, and then I would change this because this is wide open and this is nationwide. So depending on my word count, so this is the whole state. Depending on my word count, I'll take this out or I'll add to it because those are the locations I'm interested in. I mean, I take that out, take out the census, I'll clean it up and then I'll come back and I'll take it all and I'll say, let me see, I'll look at the word count and I'll say, give me 500 words. Let me see, what's my word count for it? 283. So maybe I'll say 250. Rephrase. I'll say like rephrase for a high school student to understand. And I'll do like that and let it rewrite it. Isn't it more readable?
Yep.
Bam.
500. 500. Yeah. Statement. Yep.
So much better, right? Doesn't necessarily say AI, but anytime something perfectly formatted, you got help,
Right. Right.
right? But it's least likely because it reads so easy to read, they understand that you understand, you know what you're doing. And I would take it and I do that for after I go through chat, I always go back through my stuff and change it out. And I'll either say elementary student, grade student, high school student. I never keep it on a graduate level because I want to make it practical enough for whoever I'm working with too to understand, right? I could do the same thing with this. I can add a mission statement here. I'll say rephrase to add a mission statement and um readable, readable. Oh, and then I'll bam. Yep. So that's usually what it would ask. What's your mission? You want to be able to say that. And then I'll switch it out. Or I could say less than 6 through 10. It could be through 12. Maybe I could say 25 students if I want less kids. So now what I'm missing here is okay. Now um create I need an LOI. Boop, there it is. That's the LOI. Straight to the point. And if it's too wordy, I think it's too wordy, which I think this is, I'd say um uh
Just say
rephrase
shorten it
it.
for me.
Yeah, you say shorten it, or if it's a word count, you have to put it in the word count. Shorten for me. That works too. Whatever. Bam. Boop, there it is. And I like how that the mission right there. Yeah, I like that. Bam. There it goes. Easy, understandable. Probably should have threw somehow I would have to get the statistic in there. because they want to know why. Why do you need $100,000?
Easy. You say shorten it, but still throw in the statistics.
Okay. Right. Well, since I already got it short, and I can just say add statistic, add a
Yep. Yep.
bam. There it is, right there. I love it. I love it. Oop, there it is. And so this would go. This would go in the front, in the first page of your grant. Bam. Oop, there it is, right?
Yep.
Everything we need. Now, um, now another thing I would do to get ahead of this,
Yo, Mo,
huh?
the email that you sent was
Yeah,
was it supposed to have an attachment?
you had an attachment?
No.
No, it's just a paragraph.
Okay, I got you. Never mind.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, I would want these activities. I would say I would copy my activities out, and I would say add those activities. Oh, I should have said add a timeline for those activities, but it might be able to. Uh, I should have said it added it in my LOI. That's cool. I want to say add activities, add um 10 module, add a timeline, and um schedule for 10 activity. There we go. Bam. Break it all out for you. You ain't even have to do it yourself. Whoop, there it is. This is what we doing. Day one, day two, day three. And uh, what I want to say. Um, what I want to say. What I want to say. What I want to say. Let's see. And activities for each theme. Let's see what it does. I want more. I want it to. There we go. That's what I wanted. Right there. So now, if I had to go look for stuff to fill this in, you create your own curriculum.
You know what you should do? You should say add three activities to each curriculum
Okay.
to give you more
With the
options.
with the daily timeline.
Yeah. Yes. Mm.
Feature with a daily timeline. You create your own workbook curriculum for your program. You go up in that shop, sell your material, especially if you try to duplicate your program in other states. You can go in there short, ready to go, ready to rock and roll. Let's see what it comes out to.
I think we broke it.
Huh? We
Thank you,
didn't
bro.
break it.
ChatGPT.
We didn't break it. Let's see what it gave us. Let's see. Mm, look at that. Look at that right there. Give you exactly what you need. So once you get your overall overview, then you take your time, you build your program, then you go out there and hire some people. But you will have exactly what you want them to teach and what you want in it. If you want to take something out of, you think something is too much, you just remove it. But overall, guess what? You have what you need. Now, I also sometimes what I've done for a program, I say, um, it is a oh look, format for a student workbook. Like we have no more excuse. We can design our own programs. We don't have to go buy nobody else's book. You don't have to do that many weeks either. You could really do your own. You can do 4 weeks, 1 week, and have your whole deal. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me know if you wanna. Yes, I do. Yes. Boom. Let's see. I want the whole thing, the note section and everything. I want it all. I want it to give me everything I need to be successful. Let's see. See, I want this too. I'm gonna come back and go back. And I'll copy and paste that wording. So when I do it when I do it the next time, I'll have all of that in this. Look at it. Look at it. Look at the notebook. The student notebook for notes, reflections, questions. Then I want the quizzes too. Now I'm gonna probably go back and I'm gonna probably put that all in one big old happy family workbook. And then I'll be able to have it all in one next time. And so when I put it in next time, I'll get it all out at one time and I won't have to keep going back and asking me questions. And I'm gonna create one big old copy and paste it in there. And then when I ask it to create the grant, it's gonna give it everything to me at one time. And then I just have to read through it one by one. I've gotten way better since the last time y'all met me, huh?
Mm-hmm. You're the dangerous.
It's coming along. It is coming along. Watch this. So, Chris, we can work on your workbook. Look, and look, if you want a matching version, everything. Oh yeah, we about to be dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But we needed to be funding ready though.
What you mean by that?
We will if somebody asks you, you bring your little book with you. I got a workbook for my training and everything, and have a sample, have it printed out. Everything will be already right there when they ask the
Yeah.
question. Flip through it. That's what gets you funded.
Mm.
Look at that.
I
Got the
agree.
quizzes, quizzes, got the worksheet, got the tracker, the goals,
Mm-hmm.
got some bonus questions. Yep. But I'm gonna get better with this. I'm gonna get so good. I'm gonna have the whole thing. I want it all. I want the answer. I want the answer key. I want all that. I'm doing it for this, but I would shorten this up because I'm gonna do it for. I'm gonna do it for the budgets, the program budgets, and a cost analysis for bid and contracts. That's what I'm gonna do it for. Yep.
Uh,
And I'm gonna give y'all when I create the template, then I give it to y'all,
yeah.
and then y'all could so let me see. Let's putting it over here. Let's see. Let's see what it added differently. So I would cut a lot of this short, like if I wanted to do something, because sometimes you get burned out. Kids get burned out. They don't want to be there. It's not. We have to learn that lesson. You got to switch your stuff up.
Yeah.
You got to bait them in, bait them out, bait them in, bait them out.
Do you
Like, huh?
do you have acorns early?
Acorns early. What's acorns early? I don't know. Let me
That's for the
see.
kids, Mo.
I got acorns. Go Henry.
No. Go look at when you go to your Apple store, go look or type in acorns
I thought I
early.
got early. I've
Listen,
seen
it's
it.
new.
Oh,
It's
it's
new.
new.
Yeah, it give them their own debit card. It's basically
Yeah, they got a debit card.
like it's the newer version of Acorns Henry.
Oh,
Go
okay,
Henry.
yeah. Because you do they got financial literacy courses, you can set their budgets and when they do the course they get the money.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the one they had. Okay, so they changed it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I love this part of it because it makes them learn money. Yeah. So basically we just need to upgrade.
Yeah, they got the actual app now.
So they'll have their own app. The Go Hero had an app.
Yeah, it did. But I think this is the new one.
Okay. Yeah, I need to go in mine. I still be saving my little money in that coins, child. I probably got about 1,000, little over 1,000 or something.
Yeah.
That's my emergency savings.
Yeah, I feel you.
I don't tap into it. I just let it go.
Man, them niggas charging $12 a month now for gold, man.
$12 a month for what?
The gold membership.
Oh yeah, but I use it for tax write off purposes because
Of
I
course.
be I be having too much shit. I need all the tax write off I can get.
Yeah. It's $108. Oh, it's a 144, $150 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, I be having all them subscriptions on my taxes.
Yeah.
You want to know I'm doing taxes for real? I'm doing business for real.
Real talk.
Mm-hmm.
You probably should switch your membership over with Stash to like the yearly membership instead of paying month to month.
My stash is
Cause you can do like the yearly membership. I think it's like $108 instead of
mhm.
paying $9 a month.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, I went ahead and switched it over.
I just put some money on my stash today.
Yeah.
I've been I've been using my stash and my Econs card more.
Hell yeah. You gotta use it, man. Hold on. When you said Father's Day was, you talking about getting some shoes for Father's Day.
That's the what third weekend in June.
Yeah, June like 11th or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I ain't bought him nothing in a minute.
Oh boy, you hear that, Brandon? That poor
Hey,
man.
what she say?
She said she ain't bought a gift for her man in a minute.
Damn,
I feel bad for that brother.
damn. Oh, you got him caged up or something? What's wrong? Why you? What do you do?
I don't know.
What you
I've
mean?
been
No.
I've been saving.
Oh no, ain't no saving with no. You got to take care of your man.
Yep. You can get taken care of finally because I didn't save him. He understand, trust me. I got
Is that why
kids.
you made a post about him?
Oh, because he told me that I'm delaying my own. I could have been had her. I could have been married 2 years ago, and I'm wasting time, and not Sherry getting married before me. So he made. Oh man, this is my fault. I know. I know. I have to have another knee surgery.
Dang. Oh, another one?
Yeah, I needed two. I always needed two. They just didn't want to do them both at the same time.
Women, did you have like a total of four in like the past
Uh-uh.
3 years?
Only one. No, it was different surgeries.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Only had one knee surgery. Yep. Gotta get it right now. Might miss my blessing.
Yeah.
Can't miss no blessing. Men don't say that often.
probably my blessing. Some people don't even know it's a blessing until it passes.
Yep.
Mm-mm. Shit, I know mine now.
I'm starting to look for mine.
Hey, shoot. Listen here. Ain't had to, I knew it was coming though because I felt the vibes. I felt the vibes. I said I'm about to be asked this question, and I am not ready. I knew it. It's my fault.
Yeah, boy.
So what? So why weren't you ready?
Because I said that I did not want to do it unless I had my injury under control.
Oh.
Those are my words. So I had it under control, and then I let other people's stressors stress me, and I keep going in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. So
Mm.
now, trying to get it back under control, I'm getting better, but I'm still taking longer than the first time.
How'd you overcome the stressors?
I had to let people handle their own business, and I had to be comfortable with that and not
Mm.
feel like I'm letting somebody down.
Right.
Like,
It was hard. It's hard in the beginning because you hear people talk about, what you gonna do? What you gonna do with black people? What you gonna do with your family? What you gonna do with your community? You can't just do your own thing and leave everybody behind. Da, 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 da. And I ain't internalized that junk in the last probably 15 years where it actually ended up affecting my personal life. And
Mm-hmm.
unexpectedly, didn't know such a good fella is gonna come along. And even when it came along, I was on time for it, and I still went backwards and started supporting and helping others while lacking on the things I was supposed to be doing to prepare myself for the next step. And so now here I am, almost 4 years into a relationship, and got somebody waiting on me. That's my
Man.
fault, not his. It's all mine.
Who fault is it then?
That's what I said. I said it's all mine.
Oh.
Yep. So you want to do right, you gotta get it right. Can't say it caught me by surprise. It didn't catch me by surprise because I knew.
Right.
Just have to stop playing around. Let everybody fend for their own life.
Mhm.
Because so this year I had did remember when I had did a really good job saving, and then I had some unexpected vehicles issues, but then I got that back. I got back on track with putting my stuff away, investing. I'm doing really good. Y'all be so proud of me. So proud of me. And now I just gotta get this workout back going, and then we be ready. So that's all it is.
Mhm.
Now, like you said, we'll keep it from doing it. Just gotta. I can't. You can't internalize everybody else. Everybody else's stress, so you gotta let them do them. And even though you be like, man, I want to help, can't. Especially if it's a revolving door and they keep doing the same thing.
and and that sucks because you see it too every time. Like it's you see it in that person doing the same thing over and over again. It's like, bro, I told you what to do already. I can't nudge you.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. So then you have to sit back and say, okay, are you messing around, or is are they messing around?
Well, the question is, do you ask them that, or do you say anything at all, or you don't say nothing at
No,
all?
I ask yourself. Wait, say it one more time. Did what?
Do you ask them that, or do you say anything at all?
Oh no, I asked myself that. Mhm. 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 I asked myself. I had to ask myself that when I went to when I went to when I went to the hold on.